Hello, I'm Colin Rickers with Inter Swiss, and in this video I'm going to show you how to run the daily test with your Brake-O-Lator according to AAR specification S4027. You'll see that I've already got our Brake-O-Lator mounted on our cart and connected to an air supply. The Inter Swiss cart is a very convenient way of moving your Brake-O-Lator around your shop and organizing the accessories such as the hoses and the couplers. You'll see that connected to the air supply line, we're using a coalescing filter. You always need to use a coalescing filter when operating your Brake-O-Lator because the electronic components are very susceptible to contaminants such as dust and water. You'll notice the coalescing filter is aligned in a vertical position. It must be vertical in order to work correctly. If it is aligned in a horizontal position, contaminants can easily bypass the filtration system. I'm going to go ahead and turn our Brake-O-Lator on and start the BT program.
When the handheld first boots up, it will go through a series of screens. You will need to press the Y button at each one of the prompts in order to keep the program loading. Once it has finished loading, you will arrive at the main menu. On the main menu, select the second option, Self-Test and Calibration, and press Enter. On the Self-Test menu, you want the first option, Daily Test, and press Enter. The next screen will ask you to type in your operator ID, type it in, and press Enter. The program will now ask you to connect your hoses and couplings.
I'm going to connect the brake pipe hose to the BP car fitting on the device. Next, I need to connect the brake cylinder hose to the brake cylinder fitting on the device. Now I need to connect the brake pipe hose to the brake cylinder hose using a dummy coupling with a pressure tap like this one. Once I have all those connections made, I want to go back to the handheld computer and press Enter. The device will now pressurize and check the 90 psi setting.
Once the 90 psi test is complete, you will see the results and you will need to press Enter to continue on to the 80 psi test. When the 80 psi test is complete, you will once again see the results and press Enter to continue on to the next test.
The device will now recharge to 90 psi and wait 60 seconds before starting the leakage test. Brake cylinder line leakage and gauge check. We are already connected, so we'll press Enter to continue.
The device will now check for leakage by performing a pressure decay test. When the test is complete, you will see the results and press Enter to continue. You will then be prompted to disconnect the dummy coupling.
Disconnect the BP hose from the BP car fitting. At this time, we can also go ahead and disconnect the dummy coupling from both the BC hose and the glad hand. The next step is slightly different in S4027. Most of you are used to using an external orifice fitted over the BP car fitting in order to test the flow meter, but we no longer use this. You may also have had a red button that you push down in order to test the flow meter. We have either removed the red buttons or disabled them. In order to test the flow meter in S4027, you need a BP plug, which we will now fit over the BP car fitting. We are now ready to go back to the handheld computer, and we'll press Enter to begin the flow meter test.
The flow meter test takes about a minute. You will see a series of timer screens followed by flow meter readings, and when the test is complete, you will see the results and press Enter to continue.
The daily test is now finished. We can go ahead and disconnect the Brake-O-Lator device. And go ahead and press Enter to continue and return to the main menu. We can go ahead and disconnect our hoses if we need to, or leave them connected if you're ready to go ahead and start running single car tests. Thank you.